Well, thank you very much. It's great to be a part of this very special celebration. I'm actually very happy today we actually ended the SLT meeting a little early, so I was able to come in for all the talks and the panels this afternoon. It's great to see a lot of old friends like Tim and listen to a lot of fun stories, even some pictures I saw myself there. So it's really inspiring to hear all what you have been doing, and it particularly shows that how important collaboration has been driving innovation. It's really the theme of today's program. Of course, today wouldn't be possible without Eric. So Eric is as passionate and as exciting today as like 22 years ago when I first met Eric. So I'm starting to wonder if Eric has created some kind of AI robot, just does it all for him. It's just impossible. Many of you actually said that, how could he work non-stop, 24 hours, maybe 25 hours a day, whether you are in Waterloo or somewhere in East Coast, and still anytime you can catch him. So, but seriously, I think we can all agree that Eric is such a great example of, one single person and that can make a huge difference for all of us, as a scholar, as a leader, as a colleague and a friend. So Eric has had a distinguished career and has been a huge contributor to the success of both Microsoft Research and the Microsoft Corporation. And his work outside the company, like AI 100 and the partnership on AI, I think is going to be hugely important, for the future of AI and for the benefit of our society. Many of you discussed that. I don't have time to really run down the list of unbelievable accomplishments that Eric has had. It's just too impressive. I often get depressed that, to see so many awards that Eric collects. And because it's just like almost like every other month, we actually celebrate some awards, Eric. And I say, God, that is just so inspiring, Eric. So then I decided that, I think I should study Eric. Why has Eric been so successful and have been doing so many outstanding work? So it makes him such a great scholar. I think that many of you already pointed out, but I'm going to do a better job than you to summarize into 3. It starts with Eric's curiosity and his desire to deeply understand how things work. I'm going to tell you a very embarrassing story of my own interview here at Microsoft Research 22 years ago. So Eric did a lunch interview with me. He said, tell me what you do. Tell me what you did. What is your thesis? What is your thesis? I said, oh, well, I had a camera, wandering around the Wynne Hall, this computer science building in CMU, and my advisor said, just take a sequence of images. In 3 months, you can build a model. It took me 5 years. So then Eric said, oh, using only 1 camera? What if I give you 2? Oh, I said, 2? Oh, 2 cameras, that would be expensive. Eric said, what about if I give you many cameras? I said, oh. So Eric, you really made me think, and even now, I'm not sure how I got past your interview and sneaked into Microsoft Research, but thank you anyway. And Eric is also very visionary, and a lot of people talked about that, and Eric always seeks opportunity. He's constantly thinking about how his research can help improve people's lives. Our fundamental research work, of course, is critical to Microsoft, but Eric knows the value of making those research breakthroughs into mainstream. In particular, I want to point out Eric has been incredibly instrumental in Inference Office. I can enumerate a long list of things Eric has done with his colleagues. I'm going to point out only 2. Many years ago, Eric pointed out that we should really do spam email filtering. I think we have been doing a good job. 98% of emails we never see, thanks to Eric. And the latest thing Eric has been doing is really about extracting commitments from email messages. It becomes very important for Outlook. It's going to be important for Cortana. And the third, Eric is an amazing collaborator. And again, it's the theme of today's program. It doesn't matter if you're an MSR intern or postdoc. Someone said, she hit this postdoc jackpot. It's just so well said. Or if you are a luminary, in the field, Eric wants to bring everyone along on the journey, and so people can learn from each other. And more importantly, he wants to see others to be successful. These traits that make him a great scholar, are also why he is such a strong leader in our organization and across Microsoft. Eric mentors and motivates people every day. His collaborative nature and the dedication to helping others achieve is why people want to work for him. And his passion and his excitement expands beyond his work to those around him. This is why we are inspired to work with him. He has been such a natural fit to lead MSR Labs. It has been exciting for me to see him embrace this new role and contribute to our diverse research initiatives. In particular, what he started last year with MSR AI. So beyond everything Eric has accomplished and the leadership he brings to our company, Eric is just someone you really want to be around. He is a trusted colleague, always available to listen, to teach, and to learn. I especially admire Eric's approach to tense moments, which we have had many. Eric is always calm. It doesn't matter if it's over email or face-to-face. He has an incredible way to helping people relax and focus on finding a solution. I was thinking about giving a couple of examples, but I decided to protect those people, for their future careers. Eric really cares about the people. I think this is what makes him a genuine friend. Whether you have just met him or known him over 20 years, he wants to know you better. He has an incredible ability to bring people in, and this is our gift. So Eric, you have inspired and challenged me and many of us here. I have very much enjoyed working alongside you for a long time and calling you a friend. I want to say something embarrassing only you and I know, that we had a great time in China, and I think we still remember the moment you were on that Beijing street near Tiananmen Square. You know what I mean. Thank you for inviting us along on your journey. We are excited to see where you will be up next. So please come up and say a few words and share your wisdom, Eric.
Thanks, Eric. Go ahead. So I was just scratching some notes during the actual day today. It's been so remarkable to hear the thoughts and reflections. Where's Bob? One more, plus one, from everybody in the room. I got up this morning and I got so excited about this reunion, just to see everybody again. I told my wife Mary, I said, I get to see everybody today. I can't wait to go in and connect or reconnect with folks. It's in some ways this dream of bringing back as many interns over 25 years that we could bring back, along with postdocs and visiting researchers and other colleagues. First came up, I think it was around the time of Manuela Veloso's 60th birthday at CMU, and someone asked, they looked at my hair, I think, and they said, "What about when's yours?" And so I spoke with AJ Kumar when I got back, and with Yuri, two very trusted long-term colleagues, and I said, well, I don't really want this Fettrift thing. Can we turn it around and do an inverse Fettrift? And I think we were partially successful. We even had the word student fest, to try to turn it around. So we've made some progress. After Harry's words, I think it was a flop. So, but it was a good try. I've absolutely loved the work with all of my interns and with the postdocs and other colleagues over the years. It's each engagement has been far deeper and longer than a single internship. It's been a mind-expanding experience, each one. And I tend to find myself beyond continuing to collaborate and stay in touch, following very closely the lives, the careers of everybody that I've worked with. It's very exciting to me to see where people have gone, and I loved seeing, especially the latter parts of talks today, where you talked about your own stuff, what you're doing, where you're going, and the current ideas, even the names of your new labs. The name of the new lab at, the Adisha's new lab at Max Planck. I love these acronyms people have come up with. It really resonates with some of the ideas we've had, all these ideas of how do you build a team. Edith's work in curiosity, just look around the room. Michael's incredible work with organizations. I don't want to start calling out people, look around the rooms. We were talking earlier that when I look at people, we were thinking we needed Andreas, great comment. You said we need a new function called intern to vec, because we see a vector of interests, capabilities, and passions of each person that I see. And after all these years, when I come back and see them, I see two vectors. You two have got to meet. Yes, 1998. Yes, 2011. But you got to talk, because you're in the same part of my mind when I think about my beloved interns over the years. So in some ways, I was going to make the comment that back to this Andreas's comment about intern to vec. This room represents more than anything that I know, my interests. What I'm interested in, where my passions are. I think Suchi made this comment about all the ideas and not enough attention to go around sometimes. I'll say it in a nicer way than Suchi. Given the scarcity of cognitive resources and the luxuriousness of all the interests. But in many ways, there's some latent variables there. And the variable number one, passionate to understand more about the foundations of the human mind, which leads me to AI as the best pathway there. And secondly, deep interest in humanity and seeing how to help progress humanity forward, safe, healthy way, and to take insights and ideas coming from the first pursuit along the way and apply them to the second, because sometimes it doesn't go fast enough. We have some time on our hands, given how hard the AI concepts are, and really developing new insights about mind. So that's the simple explanation for all the diversity and the big vector space here in the room. I thought I would, given that it's late in the day, and just first and foremost thank Ajay Kumar. She did the lion's share of incredible organizational work, being the local co-chair. And Yuri Leskovic, who couldn't be here today. Let me just say best wishes to Yuri. We should all put our thoughts and prayers behind his recent injury. He actually would have been here today, but while sailing in Croatia, he seriously injured his hand when a line snapped on it, I think from a spinnaker taking the wind. And so he sent a note, couldn't be here today, but I'm hoping that when he sees this video, by then his hand will be almost back to normal. And with that, I thought I would summarize by a quote that I just saw a few months ago that I actually cut and pasted because I thought it was really captured something deep. And it's by Ralph Waldo Emerson. What is success? To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people, and perhaps more importantly, square brackets, and the affection of children. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. Looking forward to seeing you all at dinner. Thanks very much, everybody. What's that? Oh, there's more?
and some lawyers, and the first thing that Eric said when we walked into the room to the lawyers was, I just want you guys to know that we're going to do whatever we want to do anyway, no matter what you say. So, and, you know, I think that's always a good way to start a meeting with anybody. But I think one thing I really appreciate about Eric is just how fearless he was in pursuing the problems that he cared about, and in making that fearlessness part of the norm for younger researchers who are coming up. And I think I've always felt so fortunate to be able to be fearless in what I do. And I think the way that Eric carries himself is something that I've definitely learned a lot from in that regard. So this is to Eric, and you know, I'm just really grateful to be where I am today, and I think Eric had a big role to play in that.
Happy birthday and welcome to the 60s. I am really sorry I cannot be there, but at least I can contribute with this video. It has been 18 years since you invited me to spend my half-year sabbatical at Microsoft Research, and it was a wonderful experience. I have very fond memories of that time, and I'd like to share one personal memory, and this is when you took delivery of your Lexus. You were really proud of this car, and you invited me to come for a ride with you. And in particular, you were proud of the car's navigation capabilities, and you tapped home, and the car started instructing you how to get home. But then you got really excited and you said, let's annoy the car. And then you started doing things that were different from what the car instructed you to do. Needless to say, the car did not get annoyed. It just kept recalculating. So here is a project for you, Eric. Put this on your to-do list and add an annoyance capability to the interface. Now, this is it from me. It has been really great knowing you and a privilege working with you. And have a great birthday and a fantastic next 60 years. Hope to see you soon. Cheers.
Hi, Eric. Congratulations on reaching such a big milestone. I'm so lucky to have gotten a chance to work with you as an intern, and I'm so sorry I couldn't be there to celebrate with you today. As an intern, all of our discussions were always super interesting. You'd always give such visionary and high-level ideas about deploying AI systems in the open world, and a lot of these discussions have sparked interest in me solving some of those problems. I love when you go off on tangents and stories that you find interesting. It's always so inspiring and enjoyable. One experience that I want to share is that when we were submitting our work last year from the internship, there was a 2-day rebuttal period where everybody was in different countries, and Eric was in Antarctica. And I was thinking, wow, that is such an exotic place. I really hope he's enjoying his time there. Eric sent a bunch of emails back and forth revising the rebuttal response with us. And it just shows his dedication and excitement towards everything that he does. I want to thank you again for everything that you've taught me, and I really hope that you enjoy this event. Congratulations again, Eric.
Hi, I'm Shum Wang. I'm currently a postdoc researcher at Stanford University. I worked with Eric as an intern in the summer of 2014. At that time, we developed an algorithm to identify drug side effects from Bing search log. The results are quite promising. That project motivates me to work on healthcare and medicine-related problems, and later becomes an important section in my PhD thesis. Eric was very supportive and encouraging. I benefit a lot from his critical feedback. Eric's impact on me is also more than a 3-month internship. He is my role model and motivates me to work on the direction of AI in medicine. Happy birthday, Eric. Thank you for being a good mentor and for guiding me on the right path.
I've always been fascinated by the very fundamental interplay between perception and action. When I was a PhD student at the Robotics Institute at Carnegie Mellon, I was working on the theory and practice of bridging the gap between perception and action in autonomous drones and cars. Such systems have to exist in the open world and reason about actions under bounded information and computation. Looking back through literature, I always found Eric's work going back all the way to mid-80s on flexible computation, anytime decision making foundational to how I approach such problems. Here at MSR, I continue to use his body of work as guiding light for tackling the rich vein of problems we have today, such as anytime prediction with neural networks, thinking about value of computation in neural architecture search, meta-reasoning in large software pipelines. I feel that AI is still in early days with respect to these problems. I would like to first congratulate Eric on reaching this important milestone, and I'm looking forward to many more years of contributions in this area with Eric. Thank you.
Dear Eric, congratulations on reaching this milestone and on this wonderful celebration in your honor. It is incredible how much positive impact you've had over your lifetime on academia, on industry, and on hundreds of collaborators. Personally, I have very fond memories of my internship at Microsoft Research when I got to work with you on questions at the intersection of AI, user interface design, and market design. I remember our discussions on how to best use AI techniques to simplify a user's interactions with the marketplace. You always challenged me to think outside the box and come up with new paradigms on how to find the optimal user interface. This ultimately led to our joint research paper on behaviorally optimized market user interface designs. I believe that it is this kind of outside-the-box thinking that got you where you are today. I hope that you won't stop here, but that you will continue for many more years. Again, congratulations and all the best for the future.
Hi everyone, I'm Xi Chen, currently assistant professor at New York University's Stern School of Business. I'm working on machine learning and its applications to crowdsourcing and revenue management. I interned at Microsoft Research under the mentorship of Eric Horvitz and Paul Bennett in the summer of 2012. During my internship, we identified a very interesting problem on rank aggregation in crowdsourcing. And Eric provided me a lot of guidance, many valuable suggestions, as well as great encouragement. In addition to this project, he also shared me with his perspectives on artificial intelligence, human-AI collaboration, as well as learning and decision making. And many of his unique perspectives have great impact on my research. Although I'm not able to attend this great conference, I would like to say thank you to Eric, my lifetime mentor, and happy 60th birthday.
We arrived in Redmond sporadically over the course of several days. Coming from around the world, we gathered in Building 99's windowless bays.
Badges clipped to our waists, we booted up our assigned intern PCs, installing Cygwin, Python, and scikit-learn with ease.
A virtual assistant led to a corner office packed with a word on top of a word. There, we'd frenziedly sketch out ideas on a cluttered whiteboard.
Eric's feedback was always helpful, simultaneously focused and wild. Bursting with ideas, we'd leave his office both excited and beguiled.
Back at our desks, with fewer answers than questions, fellow interns empathized while offering their helpful suggestions.
Progress was fueled by free coffee, popcorn, and talking rain. Discussions with Microsoft researchers was candy for the brain.
Seattle summer days were long, but the internship all too short. With fall around the corner, wrapping up our projects became a sport.
Sprint to the final presentation, then our intern PCs reclaimed, our login credentials revoked, but our mentor's guidance and some data remain.
Back at our home institutions, we wrote again, and rewrote. Eric tirelessly provided feedback until our papers approached an asymptote.
Lessons learned in prose, such as when to use as or since, words, track changes, modes, pretty awesome, and we're a hard bunch to convince.
We learned a lot in those 3 short months. How to multitask, aim, and persist without end.
But above all, we gained a lifelong mentor and
a cool friend.
Now, as faculty at Michigan, we send our own students to MSR. As oblivious as we once were, they don't yet know just how lucky they are.
Happy birthday, Eric.
Happy birthday, Eric.
Happy birthday, Eric.
And now for a message from one of your perpetual interns. Happy birthday, Eric.
Thank you, Eric, for all the intelligence. Looking forward to our future directions. Happy birthday.
This was a toy that I had in Decatur, Illinois, when I was a very young boy. There's a model of this that I picked up later. It's still in my office now. I was probably moved more by anime shows like Eighth Man and Gigantor than by this robot, but I was really impressed by the automation. And there's a little story that at one point in time, I pulled together for a long trip to my grandmother's house a lot of parts, pieces, springs, clay. I think I had a distributor cap. And I was convinced that by the time I got to Grandma's house, I'd have an electronic brain almost working. And later, I remember in 3rd grade, Neil Eisenband, if you're out there, made fun of me when he was a serious collaborator in 1st grade, that Eric tried to build a brain with a peanut can in front of my 3rd grade class. It was very, very humiliating. Anyway, I'm still working on that project. But this is really impressive. I wonder if it's actually edible.
It is edible. So we are going to go across the hall to cut this beautiful cake and have some of it.
Right.
And just to celebrate. Happy birthday, Eric.
Thank you, AJ. Thank you very much. And that's it.
That's it.
Okay, see you at dinner after cake. So dessert first.